I spent close to $4,000 trying to figure out what was wrong with my heart. And surprise, surprise, there was nothing wrong with my heart. Turns out that heart palpitations can be one of the signs that are prevalent in perimenopause. Welcome back. We are continuing the series that I call 20 Things I Wish I Knew About Perimenopause before it started. So if you're just joining us, I would recommend that you start with the first video in this series. The link is available in the caption. Today we're going to cover symptoms that I believe will genuinely surprise you. The type of symptoms that can get you sent to a doctor that tells you, hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And these are the ones that I think have a hormonal explanation that we perhaps were not aware of. In the last video, I covered the body you see in the mirror. So that's skin, hair, gums, teeth, etc. This week's 5 symptoms, again, I think will surprise you. So let's get straight into it. The first symptom that we're talking about today is heart palpitations. So I want to paint the scene. Your heart is suddenly racing, it's fluttering, it's skipping for no apparent reason. And for anybody going through this, whether you're a man, a woman, or a child, this of course can be genuinely terrifying. Your first instinct is to think that it's a cardiac issue or there's something wrong with your heart. And this is exactly what happened to me when a few years ago I thought I had heart palpitations and it cost me a lot of money. And the doctor found nothing wrong. So what is the underlying issue there? So what we're understanding is that estrogen can have a regulatory effect over the cardiovascular system. It influences what is called the autonomic nervous system, which controls the heart rate. And as estrogen fluctuates, so also can heart rhythm. And what we're finding out and understanding is that palpitations in perimenopause are common, thankfully usually benign, but never really discussed, as a symptom. And I wish I had known about this. So if you're like me and your doctor's ruled out cardiac issues, but you're in your late 30s or your early 40s, I would ask you to ask about the hormonal connection, right? If it's not a cardiac issue, then could it be perimenopause? Please don't ignore palpitations. Get them checked out, speak to somebody, but perhaps you can add perimenopause to the conversation right from the outset to help you understand what's happening. The second thing I want to talk about today is dizziness and balance changes. I was at the gym again when this sort of started to show up for me, and I suddenly noticed that I was losing my balance on the treadmill. It just felt like the ground was shifting underneath me in a way that I hadn't experienced before. And it kept happening. It seemed unsteady. And I went to check if I had an inner ear infection. I didn't have an inner ear infection, right? But I didn't connect it with perimenopause. It didn't even cross my mind. I had no idea that there could be a link between dizziness and perimenopause. But here's what I'm finding out, that estrogen plays a role in the inner ear and the vestibular system, which governs both balance and spatial orientation. And as estrogen starts to fluctuate, also can the signals that your brain receives about where your body is in space, relative to where you are. And so dizziness, vertigo, balance disruption are documented perimenopause symptoms. Now, I hadn't seen them on a list before. So when I was experiencing this, I had no idea that this could be linked to perimenopause. So if you're like me and your balance is changing and there's no other explanation, I would encourage you to introduce perimenopause into that conversation. Could your dizziness be linked to perimenopause? It's a question for you. The third thing that I want to include here today is numbness in the hands and feet. So many women talk about experiencing this actually. So waking up with numbness in the legs, tingling in the hands, strange pins and needle sensations that comes and goes. And I've noticed it in my own hands. There's times when my palms will start to go really numb and I can't feel anything. And, it happens often enough that I've paid particular attention to it. And the perimenopause link, again, estrogen influences nerve function and circulation. And so as levels decline, some women will experience changes in the peripheral nerve sensitivity, leading to tingling, numbness, crawling sensation in the extremities. It can also be connected, to be honest, to changes in how the body manages fluid and circulation during this perimenopause season. So I wish I had known that, numbness and tingling can show up in this season. Sometimes it's linked to our posture and circulation, but in this season, I think perimenopause is also something that should be included in that conversation. This is not a figment of your imagination. Other women are experiencing it, and I'm talking about symptoms that I've experienced through this season as well. The fourth symptom that I wish I'd known that was linked to perimenopause is hearing sensitivity and noise intolerance. By that I mean that noise or sound that was background noise that would not have affected you previously is suddenly unbearable. I'm finding, for example, at home, I'm sitting in the living room or in the kitchen area, and somebody's doing the dishes or opening the fridge or putting away pans, etc. And the sound is intolerable. I'm finding that I'm intolerant of levels of sound and noise that I could have managed no problem. Because I'm fairly loud myself. I can be a bull in the china shop. But now I find that it is intolerable. And the perimenopause link is here. The inner ear contains estrogen receptors. And so fluctuating estrogen levels can affect auditory processing and sensitivity. And some women may also experience tinnitus for the first time in perimenopause. So you can imagine, right? There is a significant overwhelm around noise that people can experience in this season, connected to how the nervous system processes sensory input, especially as progesterone declines. And I wish I knew that this was not simply just irritability or being irritated, right? And that I'm not becoming a difficult person, but there is a link to estrogen and progesterone declining and my ability to manage noise. And if I'd known this, I would have known how to manage my environment and extend more grace to myself and to others. The final thing for today's video is changes in body odor. Yep, absolutely. We're going to talk about that because this is one of those symptoms that are, not so widely talked about, right? The change in how people or women, we start to smell, right? And I'm talking about, sweat, right? And body odor. So just imagine your preteen or teen sort of having that burst of hormones. Same thing happens with women as estrogen declines. Now, estrogen has an impact on the way the body regulates temperature and how the sweat glands function. So as estrogen declines, the body's thermoregulation changes. The sweating patterns shift or change as well. And the composition of sweat can also change. And so we notice a change in the way our body smells or sweat on the body smells. And this is connected to shifts in the skin's microbiome and hormone metabolism. Now, if it wasn't for the streets of Instagram, I would not have recognized that there was a body odor impact to perimenopause, but somebody was talking about it and I thought, so I experienced this and I knew it wasn't a hygiene issue, but I didn't understand what was going on there. So this is one of those symptoms that can be silent. And if you've noticed it, I want to let you know that you're not alone. It's not a hygiene issue, and you can understand what's going on beneath the surface from a hormonal level. So in today's video, I've covered 5 things, right? The racing heart, shifting ground, tingling hands, the sounds that suddenly too much, and the body that smells different to you. Now, if you're like me, you were not prepared for any of these things, right? I thought menopause was a destination, you just arrived, had no idea there was a transition. And so we didn't have, at least I didn't have the language to explain what I was going through, but I'm learning now and having that language. And you know, our body is in transition, right? Our bodies are in transition, and bodies in transition will do what bodies in transition does. But I talk about these issues from a lens of faith, and I want to say that God is not surprised about the changes that we're going through. We may be blindsided, but He's not surprised. And the purpose of this is to help us get wisdom and understanding about the changes that we are going through. In the next video, I will be talking about 5 more things linked to mood and the mind. So I encourage you to stay connected, to join us as we talk about 5 more symptoms. If you found that this has been beneficial, please like, follow, share, leave a comment, send in your questions so that we can shape the conversation going forward. Every Monday, I send out a newsletter called Faith in the Fog. And if you'd like to receive that newsletter from me, the link to sign up for the newsletter is also in the caption. As I close out this video, I want to encourage you that you've learned 5 more things about perimenopause that surprised me, and maybe they surprised you as well. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's share what we know. You're not walking this season alone. There's a lot of information that we can share to help us as we navigate through this season. I'll see you in the next video, and in the meantime, look after yourself. Bye-bye.